From the world's leading center for finance, the arts, publishing, science, research, media, innovation, and much more. This is Metro Focus with Rafael P. Roman.
Tonight, it's the minimum, but is it enough?
It's as if you're fighting Goliath. You know, you're fighting the rich.
Been to the library lately? A surprising report on what's being offered at your local branch.
Libraries serve immigrants, libraries serve seniors and K-12 students. They really open up opportunities for all these people.
And what future storms may mean for birds and bird watchers.
Funding for this program is made possible by James and Merrill Tisch, Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, Jody and John Arnhold, Bernard and Irene Schwartz, the Nissan Foundation, and the Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. Corporate funding for Metro Focus is provided by Mutual of America, your retirement company.
Hello, I'm Rafael P. Roman. Welcome to Metro Focus. It's the minimum amount you can be paid, $7.25 an hour. But is it enough? And if it isn't, how much is enough? Raising the minimum wage is on the ballot in New Jersey next November. President Obama wants the federal rate to go up from $7.25 to $9. In New York, legislators voted to phase in an increase starting next year, going from the current $7.25 to $8 in 2014, $8.75 in 2015, and $9 in 2016. But in New York City, the minimum doesn't equal what a Massachusetts Institute of Technology analysis considers a living wage. That study found that a single adult needs to make $12.75 an hour, and a family of four needs at least $22.32 an hour to be self-supporting based on the cost of living. In a moment, I'll speak with Stephanie Luz, Associate Professor of Labor Studies at the City University of New York's Joseph S. Murphy Institute for Worker Education. But we begin our reporting from the Bronx, where Rick Carr gives us a look at what it's like to live on a low wage in New York City.
Saturday morning in the Soundview neighborhood of the Bronx and on the 12th floor of one of the area's high-rises, Linda Archer is getting ready to head to work.
Okay, see you later.
She lives in her elderly mother's apartment. Archer's 60 years old with a couple of years of college credit, and 2 or 3 days a week, she heads to a McDonald's in Midtown Manhattan for a job that pays $8.05 an hour. 80 cents more than the minimum wage.
For me, it doesn't go far at all because I have my, I help out with, to my mom, whichever I can. I have to pay my student loan, and I have, you know, my other personal and utility bills to pay as well. I live from paycheck to paycheck. It takes me 3 paychecks to pay off my bills for the month and 1 paycheck for personals.
Archer's eligible for assistance from the state, but she doesn't take it. She chooses to live with her mother so she can help take care of her. She'd rather work closer to home and avoid her hour-long commute. But the Bronx has New York State's highest unemployment rate, 13.4% in January. And Archer hasn't had any success with employers in her neighborhood.
You know, you have so many people in this area that need jobs, so the competition is really long. When they are hiring, the lines are like down a block around the corner.
Wow.
That just tells you how many people are really out of work.
A 35-hour-a-week job at minimum wage, which the federal government considers full-time, pays just over $13,000 a year. Tax credits can bring that close to $14,000, and nutrition assistance benefits can be worth an additional $1,900. A worker earning that salary would also be eligible for various housing and health care benefits. While low-wage workers like Linda Archer say a boost to the minimum wage would help them, opponents of raising the wage say it could have the opposite effect because it'll squeeze the bottom line for employers.
What it might mean is that they don't create new jobs, or it might mean that they cut hours for the lowest wage workers, or it could translate into higher costs for the consumer.
Heather Brichetti is president of the Business Council of New York State. The group represents firms with 1.5 million employees statewide and opposes raising the minimum wage because it would increase the cost of a full-time minimum wage employee by 24%. The council says that's likely to be hardest on upstate employers, especially small businesses. Brachetti says if legislators want to help workers without hurting employers, they should rely on the state's tax code instead of its minimum wage.
New York has an earned income tax credit that basically permits low-wage earners to get more back in a tax credit than they actually pay in. And the net result is an effective minimum wage currently of over $10 an hour in the state of New York.
But in New York City, with its high cost of living, even $10 an hour isn't a living wage. Linda Archer says she thinks she's worth more than anyone's considering in Albany or Washington.
I'm hopeful that it can change, but it's hard. You know, it's as if you're fighting Goliath. You know, you're fighting the rich. But I know with the workers that would unite together, as well as the community, this can happen.
The owner of the McDonald's franchise where Archer works said in a statement that he is committed to providing employees with competitive wages and flexible schedules, and cannot speak to the larger industry or potential rise of minimum wage. Linda Archer says she and her colleagues would be happy with any raise, but they'll keep pushing for a living wage. For Metro Focus, I'm Rick Carr in Midtown Manhattan.
And joining me now is Stephanie Luce, Associate Professor of Labor Studies at the City University of New York's Joseph S. Murphy Institute for Worker Education. Professor, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, Professor Linda, whom we just met, is she typical? She makes a little more than the minimum wage, but is she typical of the person who makes around minimum wage? Or is that a teenager who's starting out in the workforce?
Yeah, many of us think that teenagers are the main minimum wage earners, but actually today when you look at the median low-wage worker, they're actually 35 years old, they're working full-time, and they're contributing about half of their family's income. So more and more we're seeing that the low-wage workers are actually in this low-wage career path for life.
Now, whether you're young or old, minimum wage earner, the fact is that in this country you don't stay a minimum wage earner for long, right? I mean, I've read studies that says within the year you get at least one raise.
Right. We do see that workers get raises. They'll go from $7.25 to $7.75, maybe up to $8 an hour. But we see even after 5 years, they might be up to $9 an hour. They are getting raises, but they're not moving into living wage jobs, and that's one of the real problems.
And why is that? Well, what's stopping them from moving into living wage jobs?
Well, partly the jobs just aren't there. 6 out of 10 new jobs created in the United States today pay minimum wage or close to minimum wage. And so when we think about the high unemployment and underemployment, and then the jobs that are out there, there's just tremendous competition for any living wage jobs that exist.
But there are some groups that seem to be breaking through, right? I mean, according to some of the studies I read, a lot of studies I read, Asian Americans, for example, are relatively much more successful in moving from poverty to the middle class. What are they doing? What's their secret?
Well, there's still tremendous variation within the Asian worker community, so it's hard to characterize, really generalize across the board. But really what we're seeing is those workers that earn minimum wage and then move to a higher wage category, generally they're making a complete break to a new career. So true, we still have some teenagers that will do minimum wage work while they're in high school, but then they go to college, they get a degree, they move into an entirely different career. It's rare to move within the same occupation from minimum wage.
And what about the argument that we heard in the piece and that we hear from business representatives a lot, which is if you raise the minimum wage, well, automatically it's going to force employers to cut hours or not to create new jobs or to pass on the cost to consumers if they can. Right. Does that make sense?
Well, it seems to make sense, and that's what I was taught in economics, and that's what economists believed for quite a while. And then we started to do actual studies comparing what actually happened, such as, for example, on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, comparing fast food restaurants. And over, we're finding actually it doesn't lead to cutting jobs, it doesn't lead to cutting hours. And even if it leads to higher prices, it's the matter of 1 cent per hamburger, something of this nature, where consumers aren't really feeling it. So it's been a shock, a surprise to economists who didn't expect to find this, but this is what we're finding. And in part because the minimum wage is just so low, there's a lot of room to grow.
But the business representative in the piece said that it would force businesses not to create jobs. How do you measure jobs that weren't created? Can you do that?
Well, the other side of it is looking at what we think we've seen in the past when the minimum wage goes up and the increased earning power of low-wage workers. So low-wage workers spend their money locally. They create jobs. Some estimates suggest that if we raise the minimum wage to $10 an hour, it would create 140,000 new jobs.
So finally, what should elected officials be looking at when they're making a decision about whether or not to raise the minimum wage?
I think that they should consider that the last 30 years' policy of keeping wages low hasn't worked for generating jobs and wealth for the bottom half of our economy. I think they need to think about how do we get money into those people that will spend it, how do we decrease debt among the low-wage earners, and how do we raise the floor across the board for the entire economy.
All right, Professor, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
In an increasingly information-driven economy where Google and Facebook and Twitter and millions of websites are constantly updating and feeding out streams of content, you might think that the local library would be a lonely place. But in a year-long study of New York's public libraries, the think tank Center for an Urban Future found quite the opposite. Libraries are experiencing huge increases in both the number of people using their services and in the circulation of books. And what's driving the traffic? We asked David Giles, the author of Branches of Opportunity. David, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, David, according to your report, there's been a huge increase in both program participation and circulation in the New York City Public Libraries system in the past 10 years. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And over the last 10 years, since 2002, the 3 public library systems in New York have seen about a 59% increase in circulation and a 40% increase in program attendance at the programs that they offer. Really pretty remarkable numbers.
What's driving that?
Well, the short answer is we live in an information economy now, and I think more and more people are going to the libraries to better themselves intellectually and to pick up the skills they need to succeed in this economy.
Now, has public funding matched the increase, this huge increase in library use?
No, remarkably, over the last decade, when we've seen these big increases, city funding for the libraries has actually dropped about 8%. Since
You mean it's dropped as the library use has increased, funding has dropped?
Funding has dropped, yeah, and the average hours that the libraries are open to the public has remained pretty steady. It's open about 42 hours a week, which is really not a lot at all.
Wow. Now, tell us a little bit, give us some numbers. How much has been cut? What's the effect?
Well, since 2008, about $68 million have been cut from the libraries' operating budgets. That means the libraries can't keep their doors open. It means they can't hire new people to meet the demand. Again, the libraries in New York City have really pretty remarkably low numbers of hours per week that they serve the public compared to other systems in the country.
So how does it compare? Can you give us some other cities, how they're doing compared to us?
Well, in Columbus, Ohio, which is a great public library system, they're open about 72 hours per week. So we're open about half that much. But still, we've seen tremendous increases in use.
Now, wasn't there some kind of deal when the libraries first opened that they were supposed to be open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. in perpetuity?
That's right. The Carnegie Corporation back in 1901 signed a deal with the city to fund a lot of these new branches. There were about 100 new branches that Andrew Carnegie was going to build in New York in exchange for the city putting up funds to operate these branches. And the original contract, if you look at it, it says that the city needs to keep these branches open from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. 6 days a week. That's about 72 hours per week.
It's far from where it is now, so I guess they feel they don't have to uphold that contract.
Right. I'm not a legal expert, actually. I don't know how enforceable that contract is, and I'm pretty sure the libraries aren't interested in suing the city since they depend on the city so much.
So what are some of the other key findings in your report?
Well, again, we go through a lot of detail about where the growth is happening in the city. 48 different branches across the city have more than doubled their program attendance. 18 branches have more than doubled their circulation. And believe it or not, Bronx branches have done really remarkably well over the last decade. There's been a lot of capital investments in the Bronx over the last decade. Little branches like the Highbridge branch in the South Bronx has done really, really well since 2010. It's seen its program attendance skyrocket, 275%, I believe, in just the last couple of years.
And you call the report Branches of Opportunity. How come?
Well, we go through a lot of the different constituents served by the libraries. We talk about how libraries serve immigrants. We talk about how libraries serve seniors and K through 12 students, and how they really open up opportunities for all these people to better themselves. We're talking about courses, sometimes intensive courses like GED preparation courses and ESOL courses, English as a second language courses for immigrants. And these are free to the public, and the vast majority of people who participate wouldn't be able to otherwise.
And what is the one thing New Yorkers should know about the future of the New York City library system?
Well, the future is, I think, that we're going to continue to see continued growth at the libraries, but they really do need more support. And I think a lot of the city council members in New York understand just how important libraries are to communities across the city. But I think we need a mayor who really understands the importance of libraries and is willing to support the libraries. But the libraries also need to do better in raising funds from private sources. The libraries, believe it or not, are not city agencies. They're nonprofits, and they could rely more on private donations and philanthropy.
All right, David, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than a third of American adults today are obese. But whose fault is it? Food companies, the government, individuals? I spoke to the New York Times Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter, Michael Moss, about his investigation into the world of processed foods for his best-selling book, Salt, Sugar, Fat. Michael, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Now, Michael, you open your book with a description of a secret meeting that took place in Minneapolis in 1999, where most or many of the CEOs of the big processed food companies attended. What happened at that meeting?
It was extraordinary. None other than one of their own, a senior executive of Kraft, gets up in front of them, armed with 114 slides, and he lays at their feet responsibility for the obesity crisis, which back then was much less than it is now, and said to them, look, we are at least partly responsible for obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. He even started talking about cancer and started pleading with them to collectively do something to turn the corner on behalf of consumers.
And what happened?
From his perspective, the meeting was an utter failure. The CEOs reacted defensively. They said, look, we already offered choices for people. Go in the cereal aisle. We have low sugar cereals and this and that. And we don't need to do what you're suggesting here, which is like down formulate our salt, sugar, and fat.
But weren't the CEOs, didn't they have a point to some degree? I mean, they do produce alternatives, and, you know, they, as they say, they're catering to the desires of their consumers.
I don't look at the processed food industry as this evil empire that intentionally sought to get us overweight or otherwise ill. And they can rightfully point and say that none of our individual products can be blamed for obesity, whether it's soda or my favorite, potato chips. The problem lies in their collective zeal to do what companies do, which is make more money by selling more products, and in their own dependence on salt, sugar, fat, huge amounts of salt, sugar, fat, which they need and use for convenience, for low cost, and the utter irresistible taste of their products.
But you do write that the companies knew that salt, sugar, and fat were bad for you for many years.
Yeah.
So do you consider them at all the equivalent of the tobacco industry in their bad old days?
You know, links are drawn even by that senior Kraft executive. And he actually pointed out that, look, inevitably we're going to get nailed the same way that big tobacco got nailed by either tort attorneys or regulators. Interestingly enough, Philip Morris became the largest food manufacturer in North America by acquiring General Foods and then Kraft. And it did what you would expect from Philip Morris for the 80s and the 90s, but then in the early 2000s, it turned around and it began warning its food division people, you're gonna face as great or greater problem on salt, sugar, fat, and obesity as we are with nicotine. So not only have the food giants known for years and years and been acutely aware of their responsibility for obesity, but none other than the big tobacco was warning them that this is a problem.
And is there an equivalent to nicotine in the processed food?
You know, no, because cigarettes are cigarettes and food inherently is something that makes us healthy. The problem here is not salt, sugar, fat, it's overeating it. And the perfectly engineered way that these products are designed, they're driving not to get us to like their products, they're driving to get us to eat more and more, and that's where the problem was.
Well, you know, now processed food companies are reducing the salt and the sugar and the fat content of some of their products, and they're reducing the calories in some of the products. But is that really their role? I mean, do they have to be the food police for the customers? Don't the consumers bear any responsibility for themselves and their families to eat right?
You know, hats off to Michelle Obama and the Let's Move campaign. She's got the right idea. Exercise is part of the equation. Our own dependency on the convenience of processed foods certainly plays into the food industry. But I was really struck by how many of their own executives acknowledge, admit, concede, and say, we are ultimately responsible. These are our products, and it is incumbent upon us to do something to change things.
And overall, what do you think is the role of government in all this?
You know, government is there. I empathize with Mayor Bloomberg, and I feel for people who feel, accuse him of being the nanny state. But in terms of soda, for example, and people have to realize the playing field is not level. You walk into the grocery store, and the companies are doing everything they can to get you to make spontaneous decisions, to get you to spend more time in the center of the store where the most loaded products are. And I think that's what Bloomberg is driving at. Plus, there's one huge number. $300 billion is the estimated cost of obesity in terms of medical expenses and lost productivity in this country. That's a colossal number.
And finally, Michael, what surprised you most as you were writing this book?
On a personal level, I was really surprised by how many of the food executives, the scientists, don't eat their own products, especially when they get into health trouble. I met and interviewed a senior executive at Kraft who blew out his knee, couldn't run anymore. The first thing he did was stop drinking any calories in liquids, and then he stopped eating one of his favorite foods, like mine, potato chips, because he was one of those people who couldn't stop at a single serving. And so now he goes into the grocery store, and it's a bit of a minefield for him.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Superstorms like Sandy impact the environment in major, but also subtle ways. Take birds, for example. Sandy blew tropical birds inland, and that resulted in sightings even the most seasoned bird watchers had never experienced. Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism students Salima Karoma and Matthew Claiborne found birds and bird watchers caught up in the storm. Many months later, the watchers are still wondering what more frequent storms are likely to mean for their beloved birds.
It's like unrequited love, you know? You can look at a bird and just be captivated by it, and the bird is looking at you like, yeah, what do you want?
Deborah Allen loves birds. She devotes every weekend to looking for them. When Allen sees an unusual bird, she quickly scribbles its name onto her list.
A list. You keep track of all the birds you've seen in your entire lifetime.
Upper West Sider Robert Paxton has been birdwatching since he was 9 years old. 70 years later, his list boasts 1/3 of the 9,300 different species in the world.
Within the birdwatching community, you get prestige if you're really good at this. Just hear one peep or see just a glimpse, and you know what it is.
Birdwatching is about patience, waiting for an event that brings a rare bird sighting.
Hurricane Irene is moving in, and people along the East Coast are moving out.
Hurricane Sandy threatening a massive stretch of the U.S. from Virginia to New England.
When a hurricane spirals up the Atlantic coastline, it moves tropical birds from their homes and drops them wherever the storm dissipates. The recent hurricanes caused a birdwatching frenzy for these birders along the Hudson River.
We're looking for rare birds that have been blown off course. There's a limited window after a big storm has passed where birds who are where they wouldn't ordinarily be can be found.
Some of my friends have hidden out near the beach and so forth, and found also devious ways to be on the beach.
When tropical birds are swept inland, the lucky ones recoup in the city for a few days before returning south. But a few unlucky birds wind up here, in the Natural History Museum's Bird Archive, the largest collection in the world. Paul Sweet is the man who collects and preserves them.
These are some tropic birds that came in after Irene. These birds are birds that probably bred in Bermuda.
But it's difficult to tell how many birds are blown inland.
During Hurricane Sandy, we did experience some seabirds in unusual places, but not to the same extent that we did with Irene.
More frequent and severe storms promise rare bird sightings, but not without a cost.
Major movements of birds could get caught up in these storms and not make it back to shore and get forced into the oceans.
Andrew Farnsworth studies migrating birds. He's unsure what the increase in hurricanes will mean for birds in the future.
The question is, exactly what's going to happen. Hard to say. I think, unfortunately, I think we're going to find out.
For now, bird watchers simply enjoy the beauty of the storm, and they'll continue to brave the downpour, come heaven or high water. From Columbia University, I'm Salima Karoma for Metro Focus.
Hurricane Sandy brought to our region birds from as far away as Florida, Europe, and even the Arctic. And how did they get back home? 2 pelicans that were rescued after Sandy were flown to Florida after the storm and then released. And that's it for this edition of Metro Focus. We hope you'll visit our website, metrofocus.org. I'm Rafael P. Roman. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Funding for this program was made possible by James and Merrill Tisch, Cheryl and Philip Milstein family, Jody and John Arnhold, Bernard and Irene Schwartz, the Nissan Foundation, and the Ford Foundation, working with visionaries on the front lines of social change worldwide. Corporate funding for Metro Focus was provided by Mutual of America, your retirement company,